The New York Liberty became giant slayers on Sunday, knocking off the Las Vegas Aces in the semifinal round to advance to their second straight WNBA Finals. It's hard to say if the 2024 Liberty vs. Aces series was the most anticipated playoff matchup in recent history, but it was certainly the most compelling, with major storylines and players epitomizing the outcome of each game in the series. For instance, the biggest tactical challenge for Vegas in this series was figuring out how to defend Sabrina Ionescu in pick and roll. They decided to put 2 on the ball to open up game 1, but this only led to practice shots for the rest of the Liberty team, as their 5-out approach proved too much to handle. This also speaks to how the Liberty upgraded their roster last offseason. With the addition of Leonie Fiebich into the starting lineup, she gives New York another 3-and-D wing to space the floor and coexist with New York's movement offense. Becky Hammon adjusted as the game went along, eventually switching the Sabrina Stewie pick and roll and all actions for that matter, but this only made it easy for the Liberty to pick apart certain matchups and find open shooters when Vegas tried helping. On this play, the Aces put 2 on Sab, which leaves Jonquel Jones wide open, but with the Aces defense now scrambling to close out to her, she can put the ball on the floor and draws free throws. And this was probably the hardest adjustment for Coach Becky Hammon to make. The Aces didn't go deep into their rotation, so if any of the Aces' small ball guards or wings got in foul trouble, it posed serious problems for them to counter the Liberty's lineups. It's the same story again on this play, where a double drag screen creates the switch that New York wants, which is Stewie on Jackie Young, and the Liberty can reap the benefits of an easy mid-range jumper. This was a big reason why Stewie went for 34 points in game 1. But on the other end, the Liberty's primary concern was preventing the Aces from getting into the paint and attacking Sabrina on defense. And if you watch this play again, you'll notice that the Liberty decided to switch these screening actions. This was intentional because they would overhelp on Kia Stokes in the corner because she isn't a scoring threat from outside. The Liberty ignored Stokes on offense, which seriously hurt the Aces' ability to not only attack Ionescu, but generate any good looks in the half court. So in game 2, the Aces adjusted by inserting Alicia Clark into the starting lineup for Stokes, and this opened up the floor for Vegas offensively because she's a legitimate threat to shoot from outside. This move worked pretty darn well, as the Aces' overall shot quality greatly improved in the first half of game 2. New York started sending hard doubles at Asia in the post, and she did a great job finding open teammates with the added spacing. But still, the Aces never did find a viable solution to containing Sabrina Ionescu in dribble handoff situations. Sab turned the corner on these handoff actions multiple times in game 2, which is a big reason why she finished as the leading scorer. As highlighted in a previous Liberty video of mine, her mid-range growth has been a huge difference maker in her postseason scoring resilience thus far, opting for this deep floater over the outstretched arms of Asia Wilson. This improvement manifested itself at the end of game 2, where Sabrina once again comes off a DHO with JJ, and with Asia up at the 3-point line and defenders clogging her driving gap, having a reliable mid-range shot makes this clutch play possible. So in game 3, the Aces added another wrinkle by picking Sabrina up at mid-court and blitzing the ball higher up to get it out of her hands. By putting 2 on Sabrina, the Aces could use length to make any pass to her infinitely more difficult and force turnovers by playing the passing lanes. The better screen navigation and on-ball pressure certainly made a difference. Here they put 2 on Sabrina in the backcourt while switching on time and frantically rotating to stay in front of shooters, and this is an excellent sequence to force a miss. This was the reason Sabrina was held scoreless through the first 3 quarters and finished with only 4 points in the game. An active and long defender like Tiffany Hayes can not only be physical with Sabrina on the ball, but also get deflections with her quick reflexes. Las Vegas found a ton of success going up against New York's small ball lineup in this game, because they could run offense through Asia and attack the smaller bigs. This is also great synergy here by Gray and Wilson to time the spin move and pass perfectly. The Aces spent a lot of time in the first 3 games going after Sabrina, the weakest defender in the Liberty starting lineup, and with Benajelani Hamilton injured by a knee injury, it was a lot tougher for New York to manage rotations and protect her as the series progressed. So in Game 4, Sandy Brondello moved Sabrina onto Alicia Clark. This is because she isn't a self-creation threat, a roller, or someone who can consistently exploit mismatches, making it harder for Sab to be exploited. You can see it clearly on this play, where AC is a little unsure of the timing of the handoff action, which leads to a bad screen, and BLH can go under the screen to meet Tiffany Hayes, while Ionescu escapes unscathed. With New York in a scramble, they do a great job staying in front of Vegas's attack, and a gorgeous rotation from Stewie forces a turnover. Brondello's adjustments in Game 4 were absolutely marvelous. Having Breanna Stewart initiate the offense instead of Ionescu gave New York greater length to handle traps, while also maximizing Sabrina's strength as a movement shooter. With Sabrina off ball, New York could go back to the lethal inverted screens, which put Vegas in a bind because, as we've already mentioned, they don't want to switch this action, and Stewie gets an easy lay. Becky Hammon and the Aces tried their hardest going after Sabrina on defense, even running their own version of inverted screens to get Sabrina onto Asia. In the fourth quarter, with the season on the line and all the pressure in the world for New York to close the series out, the match came down to Sandy Brondello's one critical decision that involved Courtney Vandersloot. Wait, is that right? The veteran was in the game late because Phoebich was in foul trouble and Sabrina needed a breather. But in the final minutes of the third, the Aces made a concerted effort to go under the screen and pick and roll while playing drop coverage because she isn't a pull-up shooting threat. Remember, Sabrina was torching this exact same defensive look earlier in the series because it plays to her strengths. This lineup change allowed for Vegas to play a defense that they're more comfortable with, while also ignoring Sloot away from the ball to help overload on New York's better players. So after Vegas snatched momentum back with an overturned half-court shot, Sandy Brondello made the ultimate dice-rolling move by sitting Laney in the fourth quarter while starting both Sabrina and Sloot in the backcourt. Remember, when these two shared the court together against the Aces in last year's finals, they posted a -12 net rating in just under 100 minutes, which is what makes this the ultimate gamble. Playing Sloot with Sabrina allows for more initiation on the offensive end, given Laney's limitations due to injury, but it also makes it easier for Vegas to hunt for matchups on offense because they're weak defensively. And this is where Breanna Stewart, Vandersloot, and the 5-woman lineup deserves a ton of credit for playing the best defense of their lives during the most critical part of the season. Fatigue was obviously a factor here, but the Liberty held Vegas to a 61 defensive rating in the fourth quarter, largely in part to key defensive rotations from the entire team. Watch the stunts and closeouts from both Ionescu and Vandersloot here to stop dribble penetration, and Stewie's length protects the rim. Vandersloot made several critical plays and a huge stop on defense, leading to points on the other end, helped propel the Liberty past the defending champs. Everything we've talked about this season, from the motion offense to the brilliant defensive schemes, were on display in that fourth quarter, and it's only right that their path to redemption went through the league MVP and the team who beat them last year. And while it's too early to crown them, this series win makes them, in a way, dynasty killers, while also placing them just 3 wins away from their first ever WNBA title. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've made it to the end, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. Also, make sure you go follow me on Twitter. It'll be linked in the description box below, and from there you can interact with me about the game more directly. You can also get updates on what type of projects I'm working on, both in the short term and long term. In the comments, Let me know what your finals prediction is and project who you have to come out on top this season. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.